Good day and welcome to the weekly roundup of the Evening Review. I'm Ashley Smith, the news editor of Namibian Sun. Earlier this week, Namibian Sun editor Toivo Njabela sat down with Job Monero, the Secretary General of the National Union of Namibian Workers.
Why?
You will not hear them because you don't follow. You, at least if you can go back to your archives and read all the statements that we have been issuing. We have been saying government must own all diamonds. Mining, must own all fishing sectors. There's no fishing for foreigners. This is a language that we speak, and it's hardly been written. I can give you all my statements. I have never been in a press conference that I have not demanding that Namibia must own 50% of its minerals and products. So it's unfortunate because I have never seen you in a press conference since I've been at NUNW. It's unfortunate, and so it's not strange that you have that type of questions.
No, of course, my job is now office bound, but of course my colleagues always come around. But anyways, if you pronounce yourself on these issues as loudly as you want to make me believe tonight, what was your role in helping those mass retrenchments at sea the other year? The NUNW of yesteryear that we've known, a very socialist aligned movement that actually spoke and stood with the workers. Those guys are still there camping in Walvis Bay as we speak.
You see, it's good that you brought it up.
Yeah.
We have drove a few thousand kilometers up and down there. And I guarantee you, there is no single employer in Walvis Bay, after our efforts, that have refused to take back these workers.
Where are they now?
The workers was not members of NUNW. They were workers under another federation. And they were convinced by a federation to whom they belong to take their demands as per their federation. Yeah. It's unfortunate I cannot speak on someone else's demands and all those things. But I have done the efforts together with government, and they have companies, all the fishing sectors. We had meetings with them several times until they surrendered as a fine on your call, comrade.
And Dr. Job Amupanda was also in the studio earlier this week, and this is an excerpt of that interview.
I had that difficulty at one point. I wanted to completely abandon because the idea of retreating and surrender, one of the aspects you would see is that there was this overwhelming evidence of in the thesis it's called Diamond Princess. The guys that are accredited, the big business people in Oamboland who are accredited for the well-known business personalities. There was overwhelming evidence that their wealth came from illegal diamonds, and we spent about 3 months fighting with supervisors.
Not from Sweets.
Yeah? No. That thing is it. Well, that's what they've been told. And I was really prepared to mention their names because there was corresponding evidence, because my data set is not just the interviews that I've done. I've checked court records, I checked secondary sources and many other archival sources also who are mentioning some of these names. So it's not easy. So that is a whole narrative about Moshitira Mazonjupa, is from a cultural orientation and also from a decolonial orientation, that the little circles that we are coming from, be it cultural or philosophical in orientation, something significant have come out from that littleness, that little corner, little identity that we find ourselves.
Indeed. So you are in academia, you are a rising star of academia in Namibia.
And Jemima Bucus sat down with the Secretary General of NUDO, Mr. Joseph Kaundenge, on Wednesday. And
Namibians are very good with gossips, I'm telling you. No, I was never approached by the ruling party with any position. I heard it as well from some quarters that Kaundenge was also approached. He was offered a position and he refused it as a deputy minister. No, on record here, I have to say it categorically very clear that there was no such an offer on my part. The only offer that we got was for our president to become the Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services.
Had you been approached for a position, would you have taken it?
Well, it depends. It depends on what His Excellency will have told me, why he wants me to, or why he's offering me that position. Also, I should at that time, or could have considered what my constituency wants, whether they are in agreement that I should take or not take, because remember, we are in that parliament at the behest of the Nuto party. So they should also, as members of the party and structures of the party, should also have a say as to what are we going to do there or not do there. So I will not say yes or no, but the dynamics at play could have informed me whether I should take it or should not take it.
Now, taking from what you've just said, now at Amanus this weekend, there was a Chiefs Council meeting by the Paramount Chief, Vaikweri Koro. And there's also been complaints that Ms. Esther Munyangwe did not inform the party that she's going to take up this position. What do you say about that?
I should say that is absolutely not true. Because, and I want to put it again on record here, that as far as the party leadership is concerned, we were fully aware of what is happening. We were fully aware when the position was offered. And for the public information, as well as to put it categorically very clear, that Ms. Munyangwe never went to the ruling party and asked for a position. It also came as a surprise to her. But through the limited time that was there, she did inform the leadership of the party, and we concurred with her to say, if that is a case, then you should take the position, and then later on we will see how best we can use it to the benefit of the Namibian people, and also to the benefit of the Nuto party as a whole, because the moment when you see her there on television every day, you see, yes, she is the Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services, but at the back mind of Namibians, they are also seeing a Nuto president. And that's free publicity as far as we are concerned.
Okay.
And on Friday, we were joined in the studio by the president of the Ganja Users of Namibia.
The initial plan was to have an online concert, which was to, help in the fight, combat of COVID-19, just to create awareness, to encourage people that, to give them hope, encourage them to stay home, and play it safe until the whole, deal is done. So I met up with Tommy, the owner of Funky Lab. We had a discussion, we planned everything to have this show. Everything was going according to plan. We were slightly delayed by technical problems. So we kind of started a bit late. Actually, we didn't even start before the whole ordeal started. So while we were there busy setting up, the police shows up. Like a whole lot of police officers. It felt like a drug raid, the type of things that you see in the movies. It was crazy. So they show up and then they start, asking for alcohol. Actually, before they got in, because we had locked the doors, I just saw flashlights by the window, like, hey, open.
Yeah.
So now the door was locked, and we couldn't open because one of the staff members who had the key, I think, went to the bathroom or something. So for them, maybe thought we were trying to hide or something, you know.
Yeah.
So I was running around looking for the guy, and the guys were banging on the door like, open.
Yeah.
They had actually jumped the fence.
I see.
Yeah, they jumped the fence, and then they moved in, and then, you know, they started grabbing us and say, hey, where's the alcohol?
Yeah.
How are you here? I'm like, no, sir. You know, with all due respect, we just want to shoot an online concert, you know, about COVID-19. Yeah, and that's when everything started going crazy. You know, all of a sudden I'm seeing people that are popping up from nowhere behind. I didn't know that there were so many people in the establishment. I don't know how they got in there.
Yeah.
Who they came to see, because where we were, there weren't so many people who were kind of following the regulations. There were probably around 9 people.
I see.
In the lounge where we were shooting.
Yeah.
But behind it, there were some other people.
Yeah. Were you guys consuming alcohol? Like, were you disobeying the social distancing rules?
No, we definitely maintain social distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I get close to the camera guy just to make sure that the angle is okay. But everybody was sitting here. Top Cherry with her, you know, entourage, her artists were sitting there. My dancers were here. My other guest, Manebes, was also. We were all good, you know. We were following the protocol. Yeah, and we were not drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took you to the police station. What happened there? Did you guys post some sort of bail and let go? What happened there?
When we got there, we were, you know, we were asking like, what happened? Why are we being treated like this? Yeah. Because they had to round us up, put us in a queue, and then put us in the back of the van, like criminals. You know, which was, I think, was uncalled for, because we were complying to everything that they were saying. And the police station is just there. We could actually even just walked.
Is it the Windhoek police station?
Yeah, the Windhoek town police station. But then when we got there, they were like, no, you broke some regulations. I understand the fact that because we surpassed the amount of people that are supposed to be in the area, which was beyond my control. I don't really know what happened. I also still take that blame because, you know, I'm supposed to maybe be extra cautious.
Yes.
Yeah. The only thing I would say we did not follow was to get a permit that we want to host a show of this, you know, like this, and we want to do this and want to do that, but we didn't, and that's where I knew, like, that was my mistake. But then, according to how I communicated with the owner of the establishment, I thought he had done it. Yeah. Okay. Only come to realize that he hasn't. Yeah, and that's where maybe the problem also came. In their mind, they thought we were clubbing and partying and selling liquor, alcohol, but there was no alcohol there. And they found like a bottle, like a little bit of alcohol here. And the owner, you know, said, no, it's a lounge, so there must be some sort of liquor, you know, around there somewhere, maybe left, you know, from those previous days, you know. So they assumed that we were drinking and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how did you get released? You had to pay, or did they?
They had to fine us. Each and everybody was fined 2,000 Namibian dollars. When we got there,
Dagga or ganja is cited as an illegal drug. But what would you say are the benefits to the use of Dagga?
Okay, and first of all, we must come to a conclusion together. What is drugs? You know, so that the nation out there at last have a clue what is drugs. Drugs is any substance or medicine that when it's taken in, that gives you a psychological effect. So it can be medicinal, or it can be not medicinal, it can be synthetic, or it can be natural, as long as it gives that psychological effect.
Okay.
So we have different kind of drugs. We have, in this case, we have cannabis, we have coffee, we have alcohol, we have cigarettes, we have sugar, you see. So we must check into the harms to compare these different kinds of drugs. So we take like, for instance, heroin is the number one in the drug list. So now we compare all these drugs with heroin. So if we can see cannabis is number 8, it's even less than cigarettes and alcohol. It means it kills less people than these other 2 drugs. So that's why we think that cannabis should come out of that classification.
And that's all we have time for today on the Evening Review Weekly Roundup. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.